Y'all have been begging me for my center build, and I'm not gonna lie, I understand why. This build can shoot, it can hit post fades, it can dunk on anybody, and the defense and rebounding is actually out of this world. So that's why in today's video, I'm gonna be showing you guys exactly how to make this build. I'll show you guys the badges and animations I use, and I'll even give you my jump shot and stuff like that. So if you're new here, make sure to subscribe, turn on the post notifications, and whether you've been subbed or just subbed, comment Spida Squad right now. And I know you guys see me on Next Gen, but don't worry, you can make this build on Next Gen and Current Gen. But without any further ado, let's hop right into the builder, and I'll show you guys how to make the build, and then I'll show you guys the badges and all the animations that you might need. All right, so hopping right into the builder, the first thing you want to do is set the position to center. A lot of big man builds have been made at power forward in the past, but this build is definitely best made at the center position, so that's what you want to go with. Handedness, jersey number, they don't really matter. They can be whatever you want. That's personal preference. But for the body settings, you want to go with 7 foot tall. That is really the perfect height for this build. It's not too small, you won't get bodied in the paint, and it's also not too tall, so you'll be able to run around the court as fast as possible on this build. For your weight, you want to go with 232 pounds. This allows you to get all of the interior defense, physicals, finishing, all of that you definitely want to have on this build. And then since you're a center and want to have the best possible defense that you can, we're obviously going to max out the wingspan to 7'10". And just like handedness and jersey number, body shape doesn't matter. It doesn't really change anything, so you can set this to whatever you want. All right, and moving on to the attributes, the first thing you want to do is bring up your driving dunk all the way to an 86. And what that does is that gives you the pro contact dunks at 84 driving dunk, but it also gives you silver posterizer as well as gold limitless takeoff. And on top of that, we want to bring up our standing dunk all the way to a 90, and then our close shot is going to be an 85 as well. And that's all we're going to touch in the finishing, but as you guys can see right here, this build is completely dominant in the paint. But moving on to the shooting category, we're literally going to max out our 3-point all the way to a 79, and then on top of that, we're going to bring up our mid-range to 70 as well as our free throw. With the 79 3-point, if you're worried about it being too low, I promise you it is not. I shoot lights out on this build, and if you guys are worried about the mid-range or free throw, I never miss any of my free throws, and I always hit my post fade. So while it might seem like these aren't too high, I promise you all of these are more than enough. And now for the playmaking, with passing how it is this year, you definitely want to have some pass accuracy, so we're going to bring that all the way up to a 75. Doing this allows you to get the LeBron pass style if you are on Next Gen, but even if you're on Current Gen, just having a higher pass accuracy makes your passes faster. Now for the defense and rebounding, we're going to bring up our interior defense all the way to an 85, and then along with that, we're going to bring up our perimeter defense to a 61 as well. And we're not even going to touch our steal just because you do end up getting the bronze glove and interceptor badge, and with steals being super overpowered this year, it's not really necessary. But moving on to the block, we're going to bring that all the way up to a 93, and what that does is gives you gold anchor as well as Hall of Fame chase down. And then one of my favorite parts about this build, we're going to take our defensive rebound and just max it out to a 99. And to finish off the defensive rebounding, we're going to bring the offensive rebound to a 67 as well. I know it's not super high, but trust me, this defensive rebound at 99 will completely carry that. Now moving on to the physicals, you want to max out your speed. Like I said, this isn't going to be a very slow build, so with the 74 speed, you're definitely going to be moving as fast as possible and really as fast as you need to be. Trust me, this is more than enough. Our acceleration, we're going to bring that up 1 to a 60. I know it's not too high, but trust me, that's all you need. And then for our strength, we're going to max this out to an 82, and what that does is it gives you silver bully badge, which allows you to push anyone out of the way and get easy buckets in the paint. And then moving on to our vertical, you want to bring up your vertical all the way up to a 75, and then what you want to do is put the rest of the attributes on your stamina, and that gives you a 90. And there we have it. That's the finished build. You end up getting 18 finishing badges, 15 shooting, 9 playmaking, which is actually kind of high for a center, and then you also get 24 defensive badges. But moving on to the takeovers, my favorites are definitely paint intimidation as well as spot up precision, but you have a lot of takeovers to choose from, so it's literally all personal preference. All right, and now that you guys know how to make the build, let's look at some of the badges that I like to use. The first one in the finishing category is going to be Fearless Finisher. This basically allows you to make more layups even when people are in the paint with you. You also got Limitless Takeoff, definitely want to have that on. For Pro Touch, you really only need this if you have like layup timing and stuff like that on, but if you don't have that on, you don't need to worry about it. Slithery is another good one you definitely want to have on. Posterizer, obviously you want to have this on. This literally allows you to get the contact dunks. Back Down Punisher, I like to have on just because I like to do like post fades and stuff like that, and this definitely helps out with that. And like I said earlier, you definitely want to have the bully badge on just because it's so much fun to use. It pushes people out of the way and it's super overpowered. Now for the shooting badges, I like to have Agent 3 just in case I do shoot off the dribble. Midi Magician, this helps me hit my post fades and stuff like like that. But if you aren't really interested in doing post fades and all that, you don't really have to have this on. But volume shooter is another good one you want to have. Green machine, obviously, it kind of explains itself. And then the final two badges you want to have on are obviously going to be catch and shoot and limitless range. Just because you're a spot up, it's definitely a good thing to have these on. You actually get a pretty good selection of playmaking badges. I like to use clamp breaker, floor general on silver. Honestly, floor general is a very underrated badge, especially for centers. Bailout, you're going to want to have that on bronze, and then vice grip on bronze as well. That way, anytime you get a rebound, you won't get ripped right away. And finally, for the defense and rebounding, what I like to use are glove on bronze, interceptor on bronze, and workhorse on gold. These are all great badges. They're not necessities, but they definitely help you out. And then these are two badges you definitely want to have on. You want to have box out beast and chase down. I run them on Hall of Fame. And then finally, for the last two, I like to use gold anchor as well as Hall of Fame rebound chaser. All right, now that y'all know how to make the build and the best badges, I thought I'd show you guys all the animations I use, because that's another question y'all like to ask me a lot. Now, to start out with the playmaking moves, I literally use all of the default ones that came with the build. So while there aren't many playmaking moves that you really got to change, there are definitely some scoring moves, shot animations, and stuff like that that will definitely improve this build a lot. So skipping over the jump shot, I'll show you guys that in just a minute. My favorite free throw is Joel Embiid. I've tried out a bunch on this build, and it is easily the best one I've ever used. I put this on all of my builds now. For the layup style, I don't even change this. You probably could look and see if you actually get some decent ones, but I literally did not change it. So my layup style, I kept the default. It's default big. My dunk style, I'll show you guys that in just 1 minute as well. I'll show you guys all of the dunk animations I use. My dribble pull-up is basic. That's what came with it. But my spin jumper, I changed that to Kevin Durant just because it's better than like the normal one that it gives you on the build. And then for my post fades, post hooks, and stuff like that, post fade is going to be Kobe Bryant. It's fast and it's just so easy to time. And for your post hook, you're not really going to be doing too many post hooks on this build, but in case you do, Joel Embiid is probably the best one in the game. Now for the post hop shot, this is also going to be Kobe Bryant. Like I said with the earlier post fade, this is just super fast, super easy to time. It's very simple. All right, and now for my dunk packages, I know this isn't going to look the same on current gen, but literally on current gen, it's the same thing. You just got to equip all the dunks I'm about to show you. I have basic on, athletic. I got tomahawk dunks on and flashy hangs. These are all going to pop up as like athletic 2-foot moving dunks if you're on current gen. But moving on to the 1-foot ones, I got quick drops off one, double clutch off one, tomahawks off one, flashy dunks under the legs, and just stuff like that. Moving on to the standing dunks, I got athletic, rim pull, and then I got pro standing bigs. These are the contact dunks for big man builds. And for signature dunks, I have Giannis, Dwight Howard, and Shaquille O'Neal. But now with all that out of the way, it's time to show you guys my jump shot. So many of y'all asked me for this jump shot, and I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the best jump shot in the entire game for any build over 6'10". So for the base, you want to go with base O'Shea Brissett, and I use this on any build that is over 6'5". It is literally just the best base in the game. It's super fast, very easy to time. But for the releases I like to use Marvin Bagley III as the first one, and then for your second release, you're going to use Joel Embiid. And obviously, just like any jump shot in any 2K, you want to max out the speed. And then for your animation blending, you actually are going to change this, and you're going to make it 80% Marvin Bagley. And as you can see right there, that gives it an A+ release speed. Release height is going to be a B, which is actually pretty good. Defensive immunity, it's going to be a C, but that really doesn't matter. And timing impact, a lot of you guys asked me about this. That literally does not affect anything. I've used all types of different timing impacts, and literally there is no difference. Yeah, that's basically all the animations I like to use on this build. All right, man, if y'all made it to this point, I appreciate y'all so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment something if this video helped you out or you enjoyed. And also make sure to turn the post notifications on. That way you never miss any of my streams or videos. But anyways, I appreciate y'all so much for watching once again. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.